Hold up. Wait a minute.
This is Carla Renata, aka the Curvy Critic, and I shoot straight from the hip.
Yeah, you know I'm always shooting straight from the hip.
Let's take a trip around the curve. Hi, everybody. Oh, Lord. Hair is a mess. It's a mess. Hi, everybody. Welcome. Happy Sunday. I hope you had a wonderful 4th of July. And now you're here hanging out with me as I fix my clothes. They're all disheveled and crazy looking. Let me fix that. There we go. Yay! Hi. So, if this is your first time joining me, I am Carla Renata, and you have tuned into the Curvy Critic with me, Carla Renata. What I do here is I do reviews of films and I talk to people above and below the line in the film industry. I have a full slate for you guys today, and I usually get into what I did the week before and all that jazz. So this is what I'm going to be up to. But let me tell you about what happened this week. The Essence Film Festival is happening in New Orleans. It's wrapping up as we speak, and they had a lot of people there. They had notable performers and guests, starting with day one of the festival, like Grammy nominated singer songwriter Eric Bernay. Um, they had Jade. They had radio host Kenny Burns, Mike Phillips, Grammy nominated singer songwriter Raheem Devon, Rough Ends. They had a plethora of people there. They had a panel that Serena Williams, you see her kind of off to the left there. They did a panel, kind of like a beauty con at Essence Fest kind of thing. And Serena was there doing her appearance with that. They had Shea Moisture sponsored an all white brunch. Usher performed. Charlie Wilson performed. Um, Vice President Kamala Harris was there doing a candid chief to chief conversation with Essence President and CEO Carolyn Wanga, and she urged attendees of the Essence Festival to enter rooms with their shoulders back and their chins up, as we are in the middle of an election cycle. Actress Emma Yasi Koryaldi and Morris Chestnut and McKinley Freeman provided fans with a behind the scenes look at season 2 of their Hulu series Reasonable Doubt. Aldous Hodge was there, delving into the mind of Detective Cross and sharing how his version of the popular character encapsulates brotherhood, family, and Black love. And they had a Black Essence Women business dinner, and it was all the things. I was supposed to be there, but some things at home prevented me from going. But I didn't want to leave you guys in a lurch and not tell you about all the wonderful things that happened there. And to thank Essence for inviting me. It would have been my first time attending the festival, but there's always next year, right? Right. If you're in LA, LeBron James is doing something called the Uninterrupted Film Festival. It's powered by the Tribeca Film Festival, which is returning to LA in July, i.e. next week. And the athletes, well, the Uninterrupted is this is their second film festival, and they're bringing together athletes, filmmakers, content creators, and visionaries to showcase their unique perspectives. I will put the link up to where you can find this if you are in Los Angeles later on in the show toward the end. But until then, let me get into Sprint. But before I get into Sprint, please go to my website, thecurvyfilmcritic.com, where you will see the reviews for Beverly Hills Cop and all the other films that I've talked about this week. I didn't do a review of Beverly Hills Cop Axel F last week because it was still under embargo until July 2nd, and now I can talk all about it. So the gist of this is Axel, let me talk about it real quick. So the gist of this one is Axel Foley is back. This is the 4th iteration in the franchise. This time Axel has had a lady love and they have a daughter, and he comes back to Beverly Hills to save his daughter. In the first one, he was avenging his partner. In the second one, he was avenging his boss. And the third one, they had him at something called like Dave's World, where he was in a theme park. And this time he's trying to save his daughter. If you love the first Beverly Hills Cop, you're going to love this one. because it does a lot of throwbacks to the first one, which is what we all love. We love everything about the first one. So you'll love this one if you love the first one, because there's a lot of throwbacks to the first one. You know, when Eddie Murphy did this film initially, he was in his 20s. He's now 63 years old. So, you know, they pay homage to that. They don't make him try to be an action hero in his 20s. They honor him where he is. He has his daughter and his son-in-law in the film with him in a very famous scene that harkens back again to the first film. And it's just a lot of fun. I call this the summer of sequels because there are a lot of films coming out this year that are sequels of major franchises: Despicable 4, Bad Boys 4, Beverly Hills Cop, Axel F, A Quiet Place. A bunch of films are coming out that are additions to very popular, well loved franchises, and Black Beverly Hills Cop, Axel F is no different. It's streaming on Netflix right now. It's gotten some mixed reviews, but you know, that's okay. We love Eddie Murphy. All right, let's see what Brandon is saying, because you know he always got something to say for me. He said he enjoyed Despicable Me 4 last week and can't wait for Wild Robot and Transformers 1 in September. You're going to love Wild Robot. You're going to love that one. And he also tells me, and animation has been killing it this year with Inside Out 2 and now Despicable Me 4. Yes, I forgot about Inside Out 2. Thank you, Brandon. All right, so that is it for Beverly Hills Cop 4. And now I'm going to get into something. So, you know, the Olympics is upon us, among other things, this year. We have the Olympics, and Netflix has a documentary called Sprint. And it's about 6 45-minute episodes that are streaming on Netflix right now. And what it does is it's following, oops, I messed that up. It's following athletes from all around, from all over the world. And it delves deep into the psyche of these elite competitors who train to be the fastest people in the world or on the planet. It takes an exclusive behind the scenes look at the high stakes and mental toughness of these sprinters who devote their entire lives to crossing the finish line in record time, where their professional futures are decided in just a fraction of a second. Season 1 explores the top sprinters on the road throughout the 2023 championships, featuring Sha'Carri Richardson, Noah Lyles, and Sharika Johnson, among others. The biggest thing you're going to get from this is that Netflix is giving us an inside peek into how these athletes decided that this is what they wanted to do with their lives and their careers. We get to see what their training entails, who trained them. In some instances, people had to switch trainers. It talks about the pressures that they put on themselves, that the pressure that others put on them, all in the quest to, like I said, to win and break records. And it's a wonderful prequel with all of that going into the Paris Games and the trials, which happened last week. So the majority of the people that are being showcased in this docu-series made it past the trials and will now be competing in track and field for the 2024 Olympics that are happening in Paris. I was riveted. I watched it all in one sitting. It was so fascinating to see how they all come to it. And that little Sha'Carri Richardson, she is as cute as a button. Her little laugh made me laugh out loud. I kind of love her. She's really, really great. And Sharika is kind of great too. Sharika, the difference between Sharika and Sha'Carri is that Sha'Carri kind of just she lets things roll off her back, and Sharika is a little more intense, and she's a little more, not, I don't want to say focused, but she's just a little more she has a little more fire under her to, and pressure on herself to win these records and break these records. And there's a young man that they feature over in England. I don't want to tell you his name because I want you to watch it and check it out. So there's that. There's a movie coming out on July 12th called Sing Sing. We love Academy Award nominee Colman Domingo. This film is directed by Greg Quadar, and Sing Sing is, on the surface, it's about a theater program at the Sing Sing Correctional Facility in New York, which is one of the world's most recognized prisons. But in this commanding performance by Colman Domingo, he's playing real-life prisoner Divine G, who leads a theater troupe that finds escape from the realities of incarceration through the creativity of putting on a play. And this brother Divine G is really into like Shakespeare and other types of theater that you wouldn't expect an incarcerated man to be into. He's writing his own pieces. He's getting the guys excited about doing his own pieces. And it was really quite, it's a really fascinating story. I enjoyed it immensely. Colman Domingo, y'all, he does it again. I feel like there is no part that this brother can't play. Every part that he plays, he gives it 1,000%. 1,000%. And this isn't all he's doing. He produces and he writes and he directs. He has a show that I hear through the grapevine is coming to Broadway. I saw it out here at the Geffen Playhouse. Can't say too much about it, but be on the lookout for that. But the guy who really steals the show in this film is this brother named Clarence Divine I. Macklin. Clarence was one of the people that was incarcerated at Sing Sing, and he steals the show. You know, there are some people that when you put them in a film and they have no acting ability, they just automatically, the lens automatically connects to them because the camera doesn't lie, right? It just tells you who these people are. And Clarence is doing the daggone thing. The other thing that makes this film really wonderful to watch is that 3/4 of the men that are featured in this film are real life participants in this program at Sing Sing. So there's very few actors in it. Most of the men in the film are either have been incarcerated at Sing Sing or they're currently incarcerated at Sing Sing. And it sheds the light on the difference between a prisoner who has support and a prisoner that doesn't have support. It shows how these brothers end up becoming their own lawyers because to save their own lives, because the system in America, the legal system in America is so incredibly broken that they have no choice but to try to defend themselves. And it reminds me of this film that I saw earlier this year at Sundance that I told y'all about. It was called Daughters. It's by Angela Patton and Natalie Ray. And it was the official US documentary. It was in the US documentary competition at Sundance this year. Wonderful film. It left me in the ugly cry. Daughters did. Sing Sing didn't leave me in the ugly cry, but it did make my heart sing. And I enjoyed it, like I said, immensely. It will be coming to theaters on July 12th, which is the latter part of this week. I highly suggest that you check it out if you have the opportunity. It stars Colman Domingo, like I said, and Clarence Macklin. Clarence Divine I. Macklin, who is killing it. This is him in this picture in the foreground. He's a wonderful, wonderful actor. Over on HBO documentaries on Max, this woman that you see right here is Faye Dunaway. She is a 3-time nominated Academy Award nominee. She won the Oscar for her role in a film called Network. But this documentary is directed by Lauren Bousreau, who also did HBO's Natalie Wood, What Remains Behind, Mama's Boy, and a couple of other ones. And this time he's focusing on Faye Dunaway, on her triumphs and her challenges of her illustrious career through her mouth. Like just like in the Celine Dion documentary, Faye Dunaway is telling her own story. It's not a bunch of other people talking about her. She's talking about herself. And I kind of enjoyed that. I enjoyed watching her talk about herself. What I also enjoyed is Faye Dunaway is a tough cookie, honey. She is a tough, tough cookie. But her real name is Dorothy Faye Dunaway. She is the Army child of a father who struggled with alcoholism and was raised predominantly by her single mom. This is what we find out in the course of watching the documentary. We find out that after she won the Academy Award in 1976 for Network, she had a lot of personal tragedies in her life that kind of went in tandem with her career. So it was almost like her life mirrored her career. Now I'm talking about Faye Dunaway, and I realize that some of y'all may not know who she is. There is a movie that has cult status at this point called Mommy Dearest, and it is based on a book by Christina Crawford that was written about her mom and her life with her mother, Joan Crawford, who was an Academy Award-winning actress in like the 30s and 40s. Joan Crawford won the Oscar for playing Mildred Pierce, which again got revived in a TV series where Kate Winslet played the Joan Crawford role. Are you with me so far? Okay, good. So back flipping it back, the Mommy Dearest movie, Faye Dunaway played Joan Crawford. And that movie came out in 1981 and it was so popular. The success of that film was so popular that it nearly destroyed Faye Dunaway's career because the way she portrayed Joan Crawford, it is kind of crazy. It's hard to even explain it to you. You just got to go. You watch Mommy Dearest first, and then go see Faye because I'm telling you, it's a lot. Um, Faye Dunaway is very headstrong. She's unsympathetic. Um, she had criticisms that leveled her and gave her a reputation as being a difficult artist to work with. You hear a lot of women being called difficult because they stand up for themselves or they are very outspoken about what they like and what they don't like. However, when I watch this documentary, I can very easily see why somebody would think that Faye Dunaway was difficult. And when you see it, you'll know exactly what I mean. She also has her struggles with alcoholism. She is suffering from bipolar disorder. She's had many love affairs and the joys of motherhood. She does have a son, and her son, the way he cares for her and loves her in spite of herself, is a beautiful thing to watch. Um, but it also serves as a reminder of Faye Dunaway's singular ability to inspire generations of filmmakers and actors with her enduring screen charisma and film noir. Um, it's a good watch. If you're not familiar with her movies, I suggest you watch these movies. She was in Network, which I mentioned. She played Bonnie and Bonnie and Clyde. She was in Chinatown. And those were like her really big films. She was really wonderful in Bonnie and Clyde. That was a great, great film. So that is going to be streaming on HBO Max on July 13th, which is happening later on this week. Check out Faye when you get the opportunity. All right. Last but not least, what I'm going to talk about is a film that is going to be streaming on Disney Plus. It's called Descendants: The Rise of Red. And in this photograph, you see the young ladies. You see Brandy. You see Rita Ora, who's playing the Queen of Hearts, and Brandy is now Queen Cinderella. So we're moving the story forward. And the two young ladies in front of them, Miss Kylie and Miss Malia, are the daughters of Cinderella and the Queen of Hearts. And we get into that. So let me break it down for you. This story follows Red, the rebellious daughter of the Queen of Hearts, and Chloe, Cinderella's daughter. When the tyrannical, Queen of Hearts incites a coup against Aradon, polar opposites, Red and Chloe must join forces to travel back in time to undo the traumatic event that set Red's mother down her villainous path. I love these little Disney musical movies. They're so much fun. The numbers are always so much fun. I have a great time. This new ensemble of villain kids, or VKs as they like to call them, and legacy characters include Kylie Cantrell as Red, who's pictured there, Malia Baker as Chloe, who's pictured there, Dara Renee as Ursula's sister, Uliana, Ruby Rose Turner, who plays Bridget / Young Queen of Hearts, Morgan Dudley, who plays Ella / Young Cinderella, Joshua Coley as Young Hook, Peter Lindell as Margie, and we see a cameo with Brandy as Queen Cinderella and Paulo Montalban as King Charming. Now, if y'all did not see, there's been a bunch of Cinderellas since the original Cinderella, but let me just take y'all back to the original. So there was the Cinderella movie by Disney. And then when I was a kid, they used to have a movie version of Cinderella that starred Leslie Ann Warren and Stuart Damon. Stuart Damon used to play Alan Quartermain on General Hospital, and it used to come on around Thanksgiving time. And I always loved it because Leslie Ann Warren just kind of looked like Cinderella. And there were these three comedians that played the stepsisters, and it was just really wonderful. I loved it. So I love that the story keeps going, and now it's running to the Descendants, and now it's the Descendants: The Rise of Red. is beautifully shot. The musical numbers are what the musical numbers that Disney is always known for. It's a nostalgic nod back to the Cinderella, Apollo, and Brandy. It's like the good versus evil joins forces to undo Red's trajectory, which I said earlier. And it's just a lot of fun. It doesn't take itself too seriously. But I had the opportunity to speak to all of these young ladies. I spoke to Kylie, Dara, Malia, Ruby Rose, and Morgan. And they were absolutely lovely. So without further ado, I'm going to let you take a look and a listen to this interview with the queens and the princesses from Descendant, The Rise of Red. Hi, ladies.
Hi. You're so pink. I love this setup.
Thank you. I appreciate that. So listen, if there was one descendant that you could pick to be a descendant of, who would it be and why?
Ooh, interesting.
Honestly, like,
I feel like Cinderella for me, honestly. Like, I'm not even lying.
Like, no
like,
pun
I'm not
intended.
biased at all.
I'm crazy biased, but I don't care. I will say it again.
Because you know what? I'm going to go ahead and say Queen of Hearts
You know
daughter.
what I mean?
It's pretty
Like,
cool. It's
okay.
pretty cool. I think I grew up with, like, Brandy Cinderella, and I always envisioned her as Cinderella when I thought of her. So getting to be that is pretty insane. It's an insane reality to live by. So I wouldn't change a thing.
You know what? I'm gonna give it to Audrey. I would want to be related to Audrey because I don't know, something about her. I just want to like be close and be like, "What's your problem, girl?" Like, I know you got a little like chip on your shoulder, but like as your sister, as your cousin, whatever it might be, I just want to observe and be like, you know what, you're doing a little too much.
Go ahead and say Evie because I know Evie would give her daughter quite the wardrobe, and I know Bridget would appreciate it.
Oh yeah,
I'm gonna say Mal because who doesn't want to turn into a dragon?
Hey,
Yes,
real.
yes.
Yeah.
She said, "Who doesn't want to turn into a dragon?" Ooh, you are funny. There was there was this line in one of the songs. I heard somebody say, "Your princess is showing." Have you ever been in a situation where your princess was showing and you either wanted to let her shine through or drag her under?
Oh,
Yeah,
my princess always comes out now, and I learned this from Bridget. Whenever I feel like somebody may be giving some negative energy, and instead of giving that villain back, you got to give that princess back.
I like that too.
Yeah.
I'm like squeamish around bugs. And that's where my princess shows because I will not, I don't care how tiny, how big. I'm like, oh, somebody else take care of it, please. I can't be around it. I will run. I'll like bust my butt on the concrete just to get away from a fly. Like different from Ella, who's like in the dirt, but that's she's getting her hands dirty. I'm hands off.
No, same. I feel like my princess shows when it gets hot. I'm like, oh no, this is not. I need a fan. I need the AC. I need some heat. Something. It's too hot. I'm like, hold on.
oh, shoot, that was good. Wow.
She
Okay.
came ready with the questions.
Princess
okay.
Yes, honey.
When when I let my princess shine.
Yeah.
When did I'm trying to think of something heroic I've ever done. I don't know if I've done anything.
I could come up with something for you.
What?
I feel like you are a very welcoming presence, and regardless of the situation she's in, she has this aura about her that just like invites people in, that I feel like her princess shines through. And especially having already been in things in the industry, people obviously recognize you. So to have people come up to you all the time, even in the most craziest of circumstances, like her being stressed out or something, like I just want to go home, like I want to figure something out, she will never pass up the opportunity to be like, hi, to make an impact on someone's day.
Okay, so now you got to say something that you admire about her that's different from your own persona. Come on, girl, you can do it.
Oh, girl.
No pressure now.
No
Shoot.
pressure. That was amazing. Beautifully said. That's so sweet.
Very true.
I mean, there's so many things. I can go on and on about this girl.
Pick one.
She said, we gotta get through this. I would say, I think that, honestly, you're such a good listener in a way that, like, now I'm just saying things I like about Malia. But I think your princess shines in the way that I feel like
this goes for so many people, I don't think just me, but people feel so comfortable to open themselves up to you because I think you're so like safe, like you give people such a comforting energy and you're so like such a safe place for people to talk about their deepest things that I don't think they can talk about with just anybody. So
I'm the deepest, darkest secret holder. Okay, I know everything.
But what would you want to see next for yourself within the Disney umbrella?
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
That's good.
You know what? For me, I think I always grew up being such a fan of the Disney or like DCOM movie musicals. And this was my first one that I was ever able to be a part of. And I definitely do not want it to be my last. And so I have to go with movie musical. I feel like that's where my heart wants to be for a second.
It's cute.
I agree 100%.
Yeah.
It would also be cool to like have like a funny little show. Like
Oh no, that would be cute.
funny little show, but like a comedy, like something that's
You're so
slapstick. I love just like off the beat humor. And I think that would be funny.
That's
so like that.
I feel like if there is a Princess and the Frog live action,
Let's talk about it.
somehow, somewhere,
I'll be Mama Odie. I know that both of you guys, your mothers have a past that's really interesting and crazy. One is rebellious and a little bit of a troublemaker, and the other one kind of follows the rules. Which category would you say you personally fall into?
I feel like I'm definitely a rule follower. I'd love to be a little bit more of a troublemaker, don't get me wrong, but
you have a good mix.
growing up,
I think
I was that code of conduct girl. Like, okay, guys, I think we should wait till this crosswalk goes. Like, we can't be crossing on.
Like, guys, we're not.
I was like, the light is red. We can't go.
No jaywalking.
No jaywalking. Yeah.
I would say for me, I'm probably a little more rebellious. I feel like we're just so like our
so
characters.
opposite.
We're so opposite. Yeah, I feel like I like to kind of like be a little rebellious sometimes. I don't know. Do you think I am?
You have a really good mind on your shoulders where she's able to make opinions really well. And if it doesn't agree with anybody, she's like, well, I know I'm right about this.
Well,
she is. Most of the time, she is so right. And we're all like, she had a vision.
I think I trust my instincts. And, you know, sometimes my instincts tell me to, you know, do things a little differently.
I overstand as the curvy film critic. I totally get it and agree.
Yes, girl.
All right, ladies, it was a pleasure talking to you. Thank you for giving me your time. Y'all are lovely and wonderfully energetic. I'm there for all of it.
You're
Thanks,
so
girl.
lovely.
You too.
Thank you so much.
Well, babies, that is my time. Dara, I would be remiss in ending this interview without telling you how very proud I am of you. And it's nice to meet you, ladies. But me and little girl right there, we go back a long way. I love you. Tell your mama I said what's up.
much. She's watching you right now. We love you so much.
Mwah. I meant that. You know, I met Dara. I was at my friend Billy Porter had invited me to an event, and afterwards Dara and her mom came up to me and they were telling me that she was about to be on High School Musical, the musical, and we took a picture together. I was desperately searching for that picture. I couldn't find it, but if I find it later on, I'll put it up. But we took that picture, and I remember her telling me that she was doing that, and then I looked up on TV one day and saw her in a L'Oreal commercial, and I was like, I love my Disney kids. I love to see them thrive. I love when they exceed their wildest dreams. They never exceeded my wildest dreams for them, but I love to watch them exceed their wildest dreams. It makes me so incredibly happy. Let's check the comments, shall we? I know y'all been talking. So Sav, you said you love the Descendants cast. Aren't they the cutest things? They were so cute, and I had so much fun talking to them. I really did. And then Brandon said that he saw Despicable 4, and you said, I love how y'all just be talking amongst yourselves. Oh wow, I haven't seen it yet. Hopefully, I can soon before it leaves the theater. And you know what? If you don't see it before it leaves the theater, that's okay, because you know they be bringing stuff to streaming real quick these days. Just saying. So yeah, there's that. I wanted to go back and let you guys know what we're going to be talking about next week. But before we do that, let me just reiterate what I talked about this week. If you have not had an opportunity to go online and check out the details for the Uninterrupted Film Festival, please do that. I forgot to put the link up, but I'm just going to tell you what it is, and hopefully you can understand me and you can write it down. So if you want to check, if you're in Los Angeles and you want to check this out, the link is https:// tribecafilm.com/UN like in Nancy Film Fest, all one word. I'll say it again, https:// tribecafilm.com/UN like in Nancy Film Fest. Please check it out, y'all. And they may have some streaming options, I'm not sure, but check that out. We talked about the Essence Music Festival and how wonderful that was. If you haven't had an opportunity to check out Beverly Hills Cop, Axel F., check that out. Check out Sprint, which is already streaming on Netflix. Check out Sing Sing, which is coming into theaters next week on July 12th. Check out Faye, which is going to hit HBO channel Max on July 3rd. If I said June, I meant July. July 13th. And of course, check out my little lovelies, Kaylee, Malia, Dara, Ruby Rose, and Morgan on The Descendants, The Rise of Red. It will be streaming on Disney Plus beginning on July 12th. Next week, I'm going to actually try to see Despicable 4. So I'm just going to put it out there and say I'm going to see Despicable 4 and have that review up on my site, thecurvyfilmcritic.com. I'm also going to review this young lady, Simone Biles, because she has a documentary that is streaming on Netflix. It's about 2 episodes. It's coming up. It's called Simone Biles Rising. We'll talk about that next week. Fly Me to the Moon will be coming up. The Exorcism with Russell Crowe will be coming up. Down in the Valley, the docuseries that is streaming on Stars with Nico Anand. We'll talk about that. And of course, hopefully I'll get a chance to see and talk about Twisters. Yay! So that is it, y'all, for this episode of the Curvy Film Critic with Carla Renata. I thank y'all for joining me, Brandon and Sarah Productions. Y'all are true blue. I love y'all for it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. What are y'all saying to me? Y'all are funny. Simone is killing it. Wish I could see it, but no Netflix. You know what? You can always get a and you didn't hear me say this, but you could always get like a trial. If there's something that you really want to watch, you could always get a trial subscription and then, just cancel it before you have time to do it. But you didn't hear me say that. Wink, wink. Next week, I'll also be talking to, I forgot to tell you, I'm going to be talking to Megan Good about a film that she is doing for Tyler Perry. It's called Divorce in the Black. I'll be speaking to her on behalf of the Cherry Picks. Tonight, I'm going over to the Fairmont Miramar Hotel. They're doing a screening of Independence Day, and I've seen Independence Day a zillion times, but it's been a minute. And they're having a screening series that they do there that's being sponsored by Hulu. So me and my mom are going to go check that out. Look out for my interview with Megan Good for the Cherry Picks. So you want to go to thecherrypicks.com next week and see that. I'll be talking to Kiki Lane about her new film, Dandelion. I'll be interviewing Longlegs, and I'll be doing a junket for a new series that is coming out called Lady in the Lake. I can't tell y'all about it, but it's really good. And I'll be talking to Byron Bowers, Josiah Cross, and Elon Noel with that when I come back. Who else am I talking to? Let me see. I'm going to be attending the Television Critics Association presentation where they show you what's coming up in their schedule and going to some receptions and things with that. So that's what my next week is going to look like. What else are you saying? You said you used your trial, wink, wink. Okay. My bad. And then you also said, I'm interested in Twisters. I'm interested in Twisters too, because I saw the original film with Philip Seymour Hoffman, and I love that movie. And I think Bill Pullman was in there, Philip Seymour Hoffman, Jamie Gertz. It was a great film back in the day. I really enjoyed it. It was, at the beginning of the whole action adventure disaster movie thing, so hopefully this will hold up to the hype. I like Glenn Powell. He's having a moment right now, so hopefully we'll be able to see that, and it'll do us due course. But again, if this is your first time joining me, give me a big thumbs up to let me know you were here. Click that bell for notifications if you are on YouTube. If you're watching this via Facebook, Twitter, or LinkedIn, thank you. I know that some of y'all watch it after the fact. I know some of y'all watch it in real time, but I appreciate you nonetheless. Yes, you told me that you were waiting for Wild Robot and Transformers in September. Thank you, Brandon, for reminding me about that. But yeah, that's it, y'all. So I will be back next week on July 13th. So until then, love, peace, and hair grease, y'all. And I will catch you on the flip side. Deuces.